we're starting.
Okay. So you're going to introduce something here? All right, go for it.
Hi. Welcome to yet another one of our vacations that you get to suffer through. We're going to be trying these YouTubes again like we did in the Middle East, but hopefully we'll do a bit better of a job. Today, this little one is just a little preamble to let you know what's coming up, kind of an overview. So this trip is entitled South Pacific 2023, and we're going to Fiji and New Zealand. We're going to start, of course, in Ann Arbor, and our first step of what we're doing is to fly to LA, where we'll rent a car and drive to Palm Springs to visit my sister Diane and her son Matt. We'll spend a couple days there, and then we're scheduled to go ahead
And get on Fiji Airways and fly from LA to Nadi, and Nadi is the capital city of Fiji.
Right.
So on to Fiji from LA.
And this was supposed to be an uneventful thing, but it won't turn out that way.
No,
it won't.
Yeah, it's troubled.
It's trouble. So once we get to Nadi, we're going to go on a cruise, and for about 4 days.
4 days.
And do some snorkeling, go out and visit some islands. It should be very pretty. And then drive around the main island and then
Main island of Fiji, of Fiji, right. We're doing the Gold Coast, which is the southern part of the island, which is a lot of beaches and.
So from Nadi, we're going to fly to Auckland, and in Auckland, we're going to presumably pick up a camper van and drive it north. Remember that when you're in the southern hemisphere, to drive north means you're going warmer. So we're going to be driving north to a warmer area called
the Bay of Islands.
And what's there?
Well, snorkeling. There's some Maori cultural sites there. There's also some extremely old trees called kauri trees, and we'll look for those. So we'll be doing that in the camper van, and then heading back to Auckland.
Right. When we get back to Auckland, we're going to join up with a tour group, Overseas Adventure Travel, where we'll do 2 weeks of traveling with them on what they call their Pure New Zealand trip. And this trip will entail doing some things around Auckland, and then going south to Rotorua, which has got all this volcanic activity there.
And thermal hot springs.
Yeah, spas and more spas. And maybe we'll do some canopy climbs and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe.
And then fly to the South Island with the group, get on a bus, and work our way south.
So we'll be in Christchurch and then head south from there.
Right. Working our way down along the coast through Dunedin and then across to Milford Sound, where we'll go out on a boat and then end up at Queenstown. And that's where that tour will end. And we'll be back on our own again. So we're going to fly from Queenstown back up to Christchurch, where we were before, and then drive another camper van back down through the mountains near Queenstown, and work our way up the west side of the country.
The west side of the South Island.
The west side of the South Island. right. And get up near Nelson, which is at the northern extreme of it. And then we're going to turn around and drive back down through the center of the country, through the center of South Island, to Christchurch.
Back to Christchurch.
Where we turn in the camper van, and then we're going to fly back up to Nelson. And the reason we want to go back up to Nelson is that there's some national parks and all sorts of good hiking, but more importantly,
wine. That's the wine, one of the big wine areas in New Zealand.
Yeah, so we're going to take baths in Sauvignon Blanc there, I think.
Could be.
Could be. We'll spend a week in a couple of Airbnbs there, and then we're going to go and fly up to Auckland, rent a car, drive down to a little ways south, down below Hamilton, to an area where there's that Hobbit village for the movie, and the Waitomo Caves.
Right. And the Waitomo Caves have glowworms in them. And I think that is something, it sounds spectacular to see, and you can ride on underground rivers through these caverns that have glowworms in the on the top and walls of the cavern. It's supposed to be spectacular.
We're going to go down to Hobbiton and see Hobbit houses. Then we'll drive back up to Auckland, spend the night someplace, and then fly from Auckland to Nadi. Change planes, so we'll just transit through the Fiji airport, and then fly to LA, come through customs, rent a car, go visit Diane and Matt again for a couple days, and then finally
head home from LA to Ann Arbor.
Fly home.
On Delta, thank goodness.
Yeah. So that's our 2 months. And we'll see how, that's our intention, we'll see how it all unravels.
Right.
At this point, I'd like to say that it's hard for us to let everybody know when we come out with new videos. And it's going to be really erratic because we have a hard time making these videos. So we may go for a week without any and then have a bunch. And the easiest way for you to know that we're posting a new video is to just subscribe. And so there should be a button that appears at the end of this video, or somehow you should be able to subscribe to this series. And then you'll just get announcements that we've posted a new one. We don't make any money. It doesn't charge you any money. It's not like a subscription to a magazine or anything like that. It just says you'll get a notice when we post again.
Right. And if you don't want to do that, just save the link, and you can go back to that same website where things are being posted. You just wouldn't get a notification when they come out.
Right.
Just look once in a while if you'd like to do that.
Right. So we don't know who's interested in these, and we're just going to send out to some people that we think are interested, and then they can pass the link on to anyone they want to. And if you lose it or forget, you can email us, and we'll try to send you a new link. But it'd be easiest if we just knew that you were subscribing and we didn't have to mess with it, right? Although
I think some people may feel uncomfortable subscribing, and so the link is really fine too.
Yeah, and actually it's kind of nice to know that somebody's out there listening.
Oh, that's why you want it, right? Wants to know that. Okay.
So, with that info,
Mm-hmm.
ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Love you. Bye.
Bye.